Fetching in server components has an extra benefit, and that is caching. What is caching? Well, the idea of caching is to store data somewhere that is faster to access. Basically, there are three places where we can get the data from. We can get it from the memory, from the file system, or from the network. Now, as we go down this list, getting data becomes slower. For example, getting data from the network is always slower than getting it from the file system. For this reason, Next.js comes with a built-in data cache. So whenever we use the fetch function to get some data, Next.js will automatically store the result in its data cache, which is based on the file system. So the next time we need the same piece of data, the next time we hit the same URL, Next.js is not going to go to JSON placeholder. It's going to get the data from its data cache, from the file system. Of course, we have full control over this caching behavior. If we have data that changes frequently, we can disable caching or treat data in cache as fresh for a certain period of time. Let me show you. So here, when we call the fetch function, we can pass a second argument, which is an options object. Let me put this on a new line so you can see clearly. In this object, we can set cache to no store to disable caching. That's one option. And this is useful if we have data that changes frequently. In those situations, we always want to show fresh data to our users, right? The other option is to keep data fresh for a certain period of time. To do that, instead of setting cache to no store, we set next to an object. In this object, we can specify configuration parameters that are specific to Next.js. So here we can set revalidate to value like 10. And this means Next.js is going to run a background job and get fresh data from the backend every 10 seconds. So this is how caching works in Next.js. Now, one thing you need to know is that this caching behavior is only implemented in the fetch function. So if you use a third-party library like Axios, you're not going to get this. You're not going to get the data cache.